Today's Dharma reflection is about resilience in Nembutsu. So what I'd like to say is this. In 2023, there will be in Kyoto a 3-month celebration of Shinran's 850th year and the 800th year of Jodo Shinshu. There will be a World Buddhist Women's Conference held in May of that year that I hope our BCSF BWA will be attending. The theme of the celebration is Life of Nembutsu enables us to appreciate every encounter. Here's the rub. I'm not exactly appreciative of COVID as a world pandemic that has killed millions and left many with lifelong crippling conditions. And while I found lockdown rather limiting, I am in the high-risk COVID category for COVID morbidity due to my age. So, lockdown really isn't so bad, considering the alternative. Learning to use Zoom has helped with some of the isolation. What I found, and where I found an amazing amount of strength, is in our BWA members. Particularly when I think about our members who are ministers' wives, we have 2, and those who are ministers' daughters, we have 3. It is there that I found the meaning of Eshinni and Kakushinni and the importance of women in Buddhism. For example, this picture, Menasai. I haven't done this in a long time. This picture was in the February 2017 issue of Smithsonian Magazine and was taken by Dorothea Lange and is currently held in the Bancroft Library. It is a picture of Reverend Sho Naito's hands closing the door of the Florin Buddhist temple in 1942 prior to being sent to internment. Pictured on the following page are Reverend Naito's son, Kyoshi, and daughter, Yasuko Fukuda, one of our BWA members. This picture was taken of Yasuko in 2016. While Reverend Naito was interned in the United States, Yasuko, her brother, and 2 younger sisters and mother were in Japan, in the rural village of Fukui. Yasuko and her siblings were born in Sacramento, but they were sent to Fukui in 1939 as her father wanted to reopen the family's temple. So from 1939 to 1950, Yasuko did not know what had happened to her father. While she was in Fukui, Yasuko would clean the temple, open the large doors to the hondo, clean the 29 steps into the hondo, dust the onaijin, sweep outside, and pulled weeds in the garden. She started to do this when she was 6 years old. Doing this stuff is what we now call toban. All the while, there was a raging war, soldiers coming through, the sound of B-52s overhead, fear of disease because there were no medicines, constant food shortages, nothing to eat for the better part of 8 years. Yasuko and her siblings were repatriated to the United States in 1950. She would see her father in 1950 where he was now minister in Alameda, at Alameda Buddhist Temple. So when I think about what a Kakushinni is, I see Yasuko, I see our member Yumi. I understand that Misai-san is also a daughter of a minister. When I think of the wives of the minister, Misai-san and Mrs. Kobara, and the lives that they have to lead, it's not easy. A minister's life is tough. You're away from your family quite a bit of the time. You know, you get called away to funerals and stuff. So as women, as wives and daughters, you end up learning to be, I don't know, tough, resilient. You know, they're not there for, you know, your sports games. Your father's not there for sports games. Sometimes, you know, they get called away and don't get to see you graduate or anything like that. Night meetings as well. So Yasuko has actually been a BWA president and has been involved with in BCSF for many years and is still involved with our BCSF BWA. And as such, with Kakushinni in mind, she is in fact part of what our DNA is, what our Jodo Shinshu DNA is. So when I went to Sunday school in Mountain View, Eshinni Kakushinni were never discussed. In fact, most of the ministers who delivered Dharma talks did so in Japanese. So my knowledge of Jodo Shinshu is pretty shallow and really based a lot on family tradition. Luckily, we have a minister who can speak intelligently about today's topic of Nembutsu and resilience. Nothing else?